Straight ahead in your News 20 at 5 evening newscast, find out what bacteria has been found in your everyday groceries, and your driving habits may put you and other passengers at risk. Those stories and more, your evening newscast starts right now.
From the highest of 7 hills in Florida's capital city, covering every corner of the Big Bend, this is the award-winning News 20 at 5 Live.
Good evening. I'm Aria Aaron with your evening newscast. No matter what comes first, the chicken produces the egg. Chickens are the reason for the recent salmonella outbreak. The virus has been found in eggs and various meat products and is stirring up trouble for local business owners. Although consumers can visit the hospital for treatment, businesses are concerned about the community and their customers. One local customer speaks on how easy it is to be passive toward these types of produce.
We really don't have a lot of people question the type of, sanitary. Most people don't really even think about that when they should probably think about it because, that's a major concern that people should probably worry about. How long their meat is sitting out, making sure it's put at the proper temperature so that they don't have to face those issues.
A local family's house has been burned down. The house was burned down after an altercation between the family's 2 nephews and a 22-year-old man over a bag of potato chips. The attacker, who threw a cocktail in the back window of the house, has turned the Jeffersons' home of 36 years into shambles. A new law requires welfare applicants to take a drug test. The law was set into place because of welfare fraud. The Department of Children and Families says that Florida had over 100,000 recipients this year. The department now audits the system to track how EBT cards are being used. Governor Rick Scott and his supporters state that the law will save Florida money and help weed out people using welfare funding on drugs. Controversy over fraud has risen, but current fraud activity has not been noticed in Florida. The Florida Department of Agriculture is authorized to sell raw oysters again. Florida's Department of Agriculture gained permission to sell the oysters after being told to stop distribution by the Florida Drug Administration. Hundreds of people become ill and about 15 people die from eating raw oysters. The bacteria in the oysters usually affects those who have a weak immune system. In the U.S. alone, the Food and Drug Administration has announced a current oyster recall that affects 23 states. While oysters are consumed, cases of animal neglect are on the rise. This year alone, the amount of cases surpassed the usual amount by 3 times as much. Animal control officers explain that heat was the main form of neglect. Pet owners who ignore their furry friends face a $250 fine and possible jail time. And the reality of genocide is brought to FAMU's campus. Jessica Green has more.
Huge signs let walkers know the scenery here on FAMU's campus is a little different. The world's largest African-American pro-life group in the country made a visit to raise abortion awareness, and the director says the message is essential.
The NAACP won't talk about it, the Congressional Black Caucus won't talk about it. It's up to conscience-minded people, as Dr. King called for in his last speech on a Sunday morning. People of conscience to address an issue that is hurting women and killing our children.
And words weren't the only way the group made their point.
Though pamphlets and DVDs were passed out to raise awareness, the biggest attention grabbers were these signs behind it.
The caution signs were there for a reason. Graphic pictures of aborted fetuses were displayed on huge posters. Some, like student Melina Lowe, felt they were a little too graphic.
Babies being dead and all bloody and stuff, abortions, and that's kind of nasty.
Others felt an emotional impact from the photos.
When I was looking at it, it kind of made you emotional and want to cry to see that people would do this to their own kids.
Whether they agreed with the message or not, it is certain that the issue was brought to students' full attention. For News 20 at 5, I'm Jessica Green.
And Jackie Chan would get a kick out of this. Kempo is a form of martial arts that is spreading in Florida and in the U.S. This type of martial arts specializes in the equal use of hands and feet. Discipline is the main benefit of Kempo, but it can also help prepare for a sudden attack. Coming up on your News 20 at 5 evening newscast, many gather to honor the life of a Georgia man. And Mother Nature won't relent on Guatemala. Also, find out why people are causing a massive ruckus in the streets of New York. Sit tight, you're watching the evening newscast of News 20 at 5.
Florida A&M University students continue to define themselves as role models, pace setters, and young professionals on the global scale.
Choosing FAMU has helped me to discover the world. I've had the opportunity to help America's deployed military families by educating their children in Spain, Italy, Germany, Switzerland, France, Austria.
So how many stamps do you have in your passport?
A lot.
For more information about Camp Adventure and our other programs, visit discoverfamu.com.
There are heroes among us. They don't fly or bend steel or ride off into the sunset. They simply volunteered to look after someone else's health by providing comfort, lending a hand, or simply keeping us on track. Everyone's health needs a hero. Who will you look out for?
Find out how you can participate in improving our health. Visit iparticipate.org.
Welcome back. An executed man was celebrated by many. Over 1,000 people gathered in Savannah, Georgia to attend the funeral of Troy Anthony Davis. Davis was convicted of and executed for the murder of police officer Mark Maffel. Family members and supporters said farewell to Davis with the hope to abolish the death penalty. Using a cell phone on the road might be a hazard. Reporter Aaron Tillman has more.
Whether you're walking or driving, cell phone use has been proven to distract many from the task at hand. In Florida, using a cell phone while driving is considered distracted driving, and though it is one of the leading causes of death, there are still no laws that have been issued. Back in January, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration called distracted driving an epidemic, with an estimated 5,000 deaths and 500,000 injuries per year.
Well, my thoughts are, I think it's hazardous and dangerous to be driving and talking on a cell phone because you lose your concentration on driving, and then that's when accidents happen.
The Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles states that there were 7 fatalities and 1,474 injuries related to distracted driving in the past year. Many bills have been filed under distracted driving, and they will be reviewed during the 2011 legislative session in Florida. Ann Howard of the Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles explains how to stay safe while behind the wheel.
You do not have to wait for lawmakers to create legislation that's going to force you to be a better driver. Make the conscious decision to put away those distractions and really concentrate on the task at hand, which is getting to and from one location safely.
Although the Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles could not provide the local statistics, the national level raises its percentage each year. Throughout the nation, this little device is proven to be a big hazard for drivers who use it behind the wheel. For News 20 at 5, I'm Aaron Tillman.
In other news, Amanda Knox was freed after being imprisoned 4 years in Italy. Knox had been accused of murdering Meredith Kircher, but now she is able to walk free and return home to Seattle. With her newfound freedom, Knox is looking forward to spending time with her family and visiting old friends. Occupy Wall Street has evolved. The streets of Lower Manhattan are being flooded with more and more people each day as they protest what many call corporate greed. The disorganized protesters say corporate greed is killing America's economy. They are now meeting in 25 cities nationwide. 4 earthquakes shook the foundation of southern Guatemala, leaving at least 1 person dead after a wall collapsed on their house. The quakes occurred in the sugarcane region of Guatemala. Within 2.5 hours, 400 people evacuated their homes and 13 people were hospitalized. Buildings made of mud and bricks and roads with large cracks received the worst damage. Rescuers searched for casualties through debris, but streets were blocked due to several landslides. Many residents spent the night outside due to fears of sudden quakes.
The truth is that the quake has been hard to deal with. Today's tremors hit pretty hard. In this neighborhood, we had to leave our homes. The streets were quite dangerous because of the surrounding walls.
Coming up in sports, the grills may have been hot, but the action of one team was not. And the Lady Rattlers strike, and strike again against NCCU's Lady Eagles. Also, we reveal a bunch of swingers who may still be a secret on FAMU's campus. We'll have that and more on your evening newscast.
Every day, our brave troops and their families stand up for us.
For years, we've asked so much of so few.
Now we have a chance to serve these heroes.
To give time, offer comfort, or lend a hand.
To ease the burden on a military family.
Let's honor their service by volunteering ours.
Good evening, I'm Tawana Thomas with sports. The East Gadsden Jaguars took a bite out of the Rickard Raiders. The Jaguars defense came out strong, forcing the Raiders safety to fumble the ball. East Gadsden quarterback threw a touchdown pass to win 14-10. In a recent game against West Gadsden, the Jaguars won 40-0. A group of young men are not your ordinary swingers. The FAMU News men's tennis team is one of the FAMU's campus hidden jewels. The team finishes at the top of the MEAC championship every year. Their most recent victory was 4-3 when they played against the University of Mississippi. Keep on swinging, Rattlers. And the Lady Rattlers are swinging through with success this season. Kristen Holloway has more.
The FAMU Lady Rattlers bombed the Lady Eagles to win 10-1 in their most recent showdown against North Carolina Central University. The team used 17 hits to complete their third game sweep to beat the Lady Eagles. Captain Tanisha Dixon says last year's mistakes has helped the team become more successful this season.
I know last year we had a lot of concerns about making sure that we finished through the game and making sure that we grasped the concept of a team effort and that we need the team, we need each other in order to win a championship. So we focused a lot on that this year, and it's becoming a success for us.
The Lady Rattlers are halfway through their season with a record of 17-18, but they are determined to win a national championship. This season, Jennifer Lindsay was named Pitcher of the Week, while teammate Francesca Singletary earned Rookie of the Week. Dixon says it motivates her team when players win conference honors.
Knowing that one day it's a possibility that we can win a championship, and that's our main goal for this year, is to win MEAC and go as further than we've ever gone before. So I think that's a big motivation, knowing that I can get there.
Dixon says not only has softball given her an opportunity to better herself in life, but it's also taught her some great life lessons.
Softball gave me an opportunity to go to college, first of all. I don't think I would have been as interested in college if it wasn't for softball. And it's opened up my eyes to a lot of traveling, meeting new people, learning to deal with other people.
Coach Wiggins says the key to a successful win is about commitment, discipline, and unity, and all of these things come into play even in life.
The Lady Rattlers are still contenders for the MEAC championship, but they're fighting for their ultimate goal, which is to play in the College World Series. They host Norfolk State Saturday at 1 p.m. at home. I'm Kristen Holloway, News 20 at 5.
All right, that's going to do it for us today in today's sports. If you like a little bit of music, stay tuned and learn more about the cafe that serves more than just food. We'll have more after the break.
Congratulations. It's a teenager.
Don't even think about going to Kevin's.
It takes one powerful mother to have a teen. Learn how to keep yours safe and stay sane at drugfree.org.
B Sharp's Cafe was home for many local musicians. Musicians played soulful songs of the past and used B Sharps as an outlet to express themselves. The Jazz Cafe was Tallahassee's only jazz club. The Jazz Club closed after being open for 5 years, but its importance still resonates within the community.
There are probably less than 15 jazz clubs in America probably. So it's very important, especially in this area, in this tri-state region. It's probably the only one, and that's very important. You got to have somewhere to play.
Well, that's going to do it for us tonight. Thanks for watching, and remember to follow us at FAMUTVnews.com or on Twitter at /News20 at 5 for more news updates. For your evening newscast at News 20 at 5, I'm Aria Aaron.
And I'm Tawana Thomas. Have a good evening.